That is not that dog's food. And that is not that dog's food. It is all your food. So, resource guarding of bones. Here, ready for this, guys? This is going to be short and sweet. I think 1 to 2 dogs in my many thousands of dogs has ever resource guarded from me. You know why? Because I'm not the guy to resource guard from, because I don't carry myself around. When I am around a dog, they generally don't say, I'm just going to growl at this guy for trying to get my bone. So it's a way you carry yourself. That is the way I carry myself. Not to say this is natural to me, but I had a board and train. I have a board and train facility. I have I've been to many homes. I'm not letting the dog jump on me. If the dog wants to jump on me and jump as I'm walking, I'm going to keep walking. I'm not going to let the dog counter surf. You see what I'm getting at? Like, carry yourself in a way, no nonsense mommy, no nonsense daddy. And then a month later, when you try to grab that bone, you're not the same person you were. And they don't guard from you a lot of the time. I dislike so much I'm going to lure a dog away with hot dogs in order to grab that bone. Do you know how bad of a method that is? I mean, just to the normal person, like Eric is a normal person, maybe you intuitively know that doesn't really seem right. They're guarding their bone. We're going to lure them away with a hot dog and take the bone. It can sometimes work. I have used it for certain dogs, but there is a deeper problem within that dog that needs to be fixed. And we are not going to simply say, please, doggy, please don't growl at me and let me lure you away with a hot dog so I can take that bone. I rarely see it fixed because the deeper problem isn't fixed. So you ready for my method? It is not hit a knee collar. It is not leave the leash on them and pop them when they don't give us the thing. Here's what a dog does. Now, you don't want to start with a marrow bone, which might be a 10 on the scale, right? You want to start with something lower. And this is not a mean method, but I love this method. Dog has its thing. When a dog has a thing, they hunker, right? They hunker down. You start to approach. They do this. They look up, and they often start with a look. Then a growl happens. So right on the approach, when you start to see the look, you take your hands and you clap and you go wham, and you do the loudest clap you can don't keep approaching, right? Stop at a point. Often, nothing works 100% of the time. Often, it's a unique and loud enough sound where the dog goes, "Hoo!" And they are not this far away from the bone. They went, "Whoa!" And now they're this far away from the bone. It is no longer as much theirs as it was when they were this far away from the bone. Their head is now up here. At that point, you then start to walk towards the dog in a no-nonsense way, of which they do this. Remember, bone's still right here. Now they're getting farther from the bone. They start to go, "Oh, what's up?" You then take your foot and you fling the bone behind you. Why? I have never in my life, and knock on wood, I hope I would never be dumb enough to put my hand down there. My arm is only so long. Now I am close to the dog's face. My face is close to the dog's face. I'm not doing it. You shouldn't do it. Reach down, or no, don't reach down. So then yeah, that's what they'll do. Then you fling the bone behind you. Then I keep looking at the dog. Then I go get the bone, and then act like I'm eating the bone. And the dog goes,
"Dare you?
You're eating a bully stick. That's disgusting. Do you know what that thing is?" They don't say that, but
we know what it's made of.
Do you know what a bully stick is? It's disgusting. So you act like you're eating the bone. You don't have to do the second part. I just sometimes do it. In my gut, I feel like it works. I look in the dog's eyes when I'm doing it, and they're kind of like, "This dude's out of his mind." And they go, and then you can give it back to him. There's also, and I don't mean to just move too quickly through a very big problem like resource guarding. There is also, and I believe in this, like, let the dog eat. Mm-hmm. Like, why are we going over there constantly taking things away from the dog? Like, there is a time and a place to just go, we're not going to mess with this dog, especially with kids. You got to be careful.
It depends on how the dog acts, right? If a dog thinks that is his and you walk up and he's your pet and he starts growling at you, are you going to put up with that?
No, but some people should put up with that.
Well, like, remember we were talking a few weeks ago?
Because
Like,
I don't want anybody to get bit.
yeah, but what about like the dog is gonna, like, you're afraid the dog's gonna bite you? Like, remember we were talking about press canarios and stuff where
Yeah. Where you
have to really draw the line
Yeah.
and be like, is this dog, like, do I want to go here with this dog?
Yeah. This is kind of one of those things. But like, I'm not going to tell that there's a point at which that tiny human being and that giant dog, you may not be able to win this battle. So don't fight the battle.
Only fight if you can win. It's like
Only
Sun
fight if
Tzu,
you can
Art
win
of
it.
War, basically.
Did he say that, or are you just
Oh, yeah.
making that up?
No, for sure.
Only fight the battle if you can win it.
Oh yeah, like the entire book is basically,
Oh, well, there
like,
you go.
you only deal with situations with the enemy when you know that you can win.
I like it.
Yeah, because
That's what I'm saying.
if you know he can punk you and take the bully stick from you,
Yeah.
you would want to avoid him knowing that, right?
Yes. Yeah. You would lose.
That'd be
And
the worst case scenario.
rehearsal of behavior, rehearsal of you losing, is not a good thing.
Yeah, that's pretty okay. So you're saying, but for you as a dog trainer,
Yeah.
if let's just say you got a Cane Corso,
Yeah.
and it was gnarly,
Yes.
you would make sure that you use that method you just described until he knew that he has to give up the bully sticks around you.
Yes. Is he my dog or am I training him?
No, he's yours.
Oh, if he's my own dog, I'm going to win.
Okay.
If I'm training the dog and I'm charging a 1 hour session, I'm not fighting that battle for a few $100s.
Do you think people that have a Cane Corso, you're kind of like, hey, you signed up for it a bit? Like, you got
It depends.
you
There's
gotta
so many
want a
factors. I
battle.
got to look at the person and look in their eyes. Do they have children?
But you know what I'm saying?
I need to know every aspect of that person's life before I tell them what they should do.
I'm not saying you should say
How
don't
big are they?
don't get him, or not get him. But if you want a relatively easy dog, you could have got a golden retriever or something. When you get those elite Dogo Argentino type breeds, right? You have to know you're signing up for a bit more, or a
Yeah.
Malinois.
Yeah, that's true. Resource guarding from dog to dog. It doesn't matter. Like, should you feed your dog separately if they're going to fight? Yes, you should. Let me
Mhm.
first say that. Like, it's a battle that you maybe shouldn't get into. Just avoid the fight. But if you can't, for some reason, your tiny house, I don't know
Mhm.
what the situation would be. You want to make a point because you got other problems with them. There's one boss in the mix.
That's the
Then
owner.
he's the owner. That's the only person that matters. That is not, listen, I'm not saying you do this. I already said it's not a fight worth having with any of these guys. That is not that dog's food. And that is not that dog's food. It is all your food.
I actually kind of misspoke, or I didn't misspeak, but I didn't clarify what I was talking about. I was referring specifically to like a bone.
Yeah.
Where it's like a bone is a bit more of like a possession,
It is.
right? So
Yeah.
like, what is your stance on that Presa Canario coming up to the Dogo who's got his own bone and now he wants to take his bone?
It's rough.
That's an aggression. That's
Here's my
initiating
stance.
force.
And I'm not saying it's easy. I'm going to sit there and that Presa Canario is walking that way. I'm going to go, I don't want to yell on this thing, blow people's ears out. I'm going to go,
Just do it.
hey, go. That's not yours. Get out of here. And that guy's going to go, sorry, dude. And he can eat. Or if he goes over there and he growls at him and this one does like a look away, like, sorry, buddy. And this guy stays here and growls. I might go, he left. Your buddy left and you're still being mean to him. Now it's my bone. Like,
Now you
every
lose it.
situation,
You-
who's being jerky?
I'm
If
not just
I
making
had
this
a
up.
puppy and Prince is at my house and Prince is the best dog ever, am I just going to let him steal the puppy's bones all the time? No. Will I maybe let him steal the puppy's bones sometimes because Prince is 4 years old and has been the most amazing dog ever? Yeah, maybe.
So it's a double standard.
I mean, everything has everything.
But I mean, let's say they're
It's
equal. Let's say
situational.
they're like the
Two princes.
What's the dogs? You didn't like me pointing at you, I could tell. What were the American bulldogs? Those two that are in a lot of the videos?
Yeah,
Like they're like the same type of dog. They look the same.
they are.
They each have their own bone, and one just wants to dominate. And I'm not saying they do that, but you've seen dogs that are just like, I'm going to take everything of everyone's, right?
Yes.
This is a problem, right?
Yeah. My first dog, Bosco, was like,
That's how it
he would
goes.
go to people's houses. I went to so many houses with him. First thing he'd do is he'd find their toy thing and he'd
Yeah.
be like, this is mine. And he would go back to the toy thing and he'd take it and he'd pick it out and he'd chew on it for 5 seconds. He'd go get a new one. And by the end of the session, that dog's toys would be all over that house because Bosco just went and got all of them. And he would go over to the dog and he would sometimes go sit there and stare at the dog and
You
just stay
punk
there
'em.
and just look at him. And the dog would eventually go, okay. And he'd go, thank you.
It's horrible behavior.
You want to fix like dog problems between two dogs, whatever those problems are. It goes you and I. There is a hierarchy between the dogs, and we can't stop it, and we can rarely flip it. Okay,
Rarely flip it, right?
rarely,
Yeah.
rarely flip it. But it kind of doesn't matter between the two because you're up here. That's what matters.